arguing that not being in love alone cannot be the premise to leave your spouse.
The Ugly Truth of Divorce podcast with Sam and Leah, helping you not just survive, but thrive.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Ugly Truth of Divorce, where we are going to just talk about something that I have no idea about today. But Leah and I just want to welcome you real quick. Like, we are going through this change. I don't know if it's because of retrograde. I'm going to say it's because of retrograde.
The eclipse, Aries season. There's a lot happening in the
When you're listening to this right now, it's April 4th is when we're recording this. And there's just a lot going on in the month of April in 2024. I mean, there is a lot going on. I don't know about you, but my TikTok feed is just full of bizarre shit with the universe and the sun and the moon and all kinds of things. And everybody's talking about the eclipse and what's going to happen and all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. My period's all whacked out. Like, some people are having 2 already. I mean, it's a shit show. But for us, I feel like for work, it's kind of like opening our minds to new things. So I think if you've been here a while with us, you're going to see a little bit of a change in some things, and we're just going to kind of keep that to ourselves. But you're going to notice just a different perspective, I think, coming about a lot of the things that we're going to be sharing, how we speak, how we do some TikToks, how we do some shows, and just stick around because it's going to get really fucking good. It's going to get good. But today we're here for every week we do a podcast. And Leah Marie is in charge of the subject, you guys, and I don't even know what it's going to be.
Yeah. So I didn't want to tell you because I thought it would just be a really good topic of conversation.
Okay.
So as you know, I get these emails, right, with like all different kinds of things. And so I had gotten this email last week. It's from firstpost.com. I don't really even know what that is, but whenever there's divorce stuff, I get it sent to me.
Okay.
And this is not about getting political, but I'm just going to tell you what it's about. It says Republicans are targeting no-fault divorce, arguing that not being in love alone cannot be the premise to leave your spouse. And so this has raised an interesting question. What is marriage for? So I love this because
okay. Let's take out the political thing because I don't give a shit who said it.
It doesn't matter who's doing it. I'm just reading the article, right? It could be anybody.
So let me just tell you the topic of this conversation is so fitting for time because I literally just text something. My tax lady, I have a lady that does my taxes. And I said, and I quote, "Do I need to get married in 2024 for tax benefits?"
Yes.
But Jared and I are against the government being involved in our marriage.
Right. Herein lies.
So that's the only, Jared and I, we both wear rings. We both refer to each other as husband and wife because we're 40 years old and we're not going to say fiance. We've done that for 8 years. We have 2 children. We share all of our bills. Our money is together. We say, I love you. We have sex. Like, we're doing everything we fight.
You're playing the part.
Everything a married couple. And so I literally just text her and she said, and I quote, which I don't know if you guys know about tax people, but they're usually pretty dry, right? Like very matter of fact. She said a joke. She said, "I'm never going to tell a divorce coach to get married." So, but she goes, we do need to talk about if there's a tax benefit.
Yes.
For you, because Jared does not work.
Yes.
So he's a stay-at-home dad. He's retired. He's whatever you want to call that. So she's like, we need to talk about whether it's a benefit or not.
Yeah.
And I just we were talking about it last night after she told me that. And I'm just like, we just don't like the idea of the government.
Right. Well, because that's the thing.
That's the only thing that it does, really.
Shouldn't you be allowed to get married for whatever reason you want to whoever you want, and B, get divorced anytime you want for whatever reason you want? Like, who is the government to say, oh, if you fell out of love, you're not allowed to get divorced? It needs to be something more serious, when more often than not, the people who are getting married because they're in love, right?
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. So then I asked ChatGPT, what are the benefits of the legal benefits of getting married? And so here's what it said, because that's the thing is the government, if you don't want the government to get involved.
ChatGPT, talk me into it.
But it's like, but the government is like incentivizing people to get married because there
Yeah.
are things that you're legally not entitled to the
Mhm.
rights of if you're not married. So that's where it gets like
Well,
it's a little
yes and
mucky.
no. Yes and no. I feel like that falls under the same category of every child needs to be vaccinated to go to school. That's just not true either. That's what they
Right.
make us believe, right? So I think when it comes to something like that, like we are now domestic partners because
Mhm.
we had to get certain insurances together and to be on life insurances and things like that. So we just assigned a domestic partnership. It's just a piece of paper and
Mhm.
that's it. Like, and it was literally a Xeroxed in and everybody's like, okay.
Right. Do you have to be together for a certain amount of time in order to get that?
I think it depends on each state of where you live and what
Okay.
you signed and stuff, but it was like
Okay.
super like print off from the internet and sign it that you both agree and notarize it. It was like crazy super simple. But yeah, it was just so can't remember what we got it for. I don't know if it was for insurance or taxes or not tax insurance for the house or insurance for health and I don't remember what it was for, but it was something super simple.
Okay. Okay, so here's what it says: marriage in the US comes with a variety of legal benefits that can have significant impacts on financial, social, and health related aspects of life. Here are some key legal benefits. Number 1, tax benefits. It says married couples can file joint tax returns, which may lead to lower taxes. They're also eligible for various tax exclusions and credits.
See,
Um,
and for me this is the screwed up part. I make pretty decent money and Jared
mhm,
doesn't work. So he
mhm,
filed taxes because he worked part of last year and he had all the kids on him. He got a shit ton of money back. And
mhm,
then I'm over here paying a shit ton of money.
mhm.
So for me, I don't know how that's going to look. I'm taking on just another dependent. It's not really going to help me, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Like to
Yeah, I
me,
have no idea how
show
that
me the
works.
numbers that it's really going to help me to go get
Right.
married. Like I'm already paying a boatload into taxes. Like I already know what that looks like single. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like what so it would really have to like for high income earners, I think it would have to be a real
That looks
show me the
like.
money, show me the numbers.
Right. Okay, so number 2, it says healthcare benefits. Spouses can often receive health insurance through their partner's employer and make medical decisions for their partner in case of an emergency.
Yeah. So that part, I've always wondered, with my son being gay and having a partner, how that's going to work. I think it's a big concern of them too. So it's like, we're no different. Jared and Walker and Isaiah and I have all talked about that. They're like, if anything happens, we want to be able to be in the room and talk to each other. And I
Right.
mean, Walker knows what Isaiah wants and Isaiah knows what Walker wants. I don't, and I would want Isaiah to be there. So yeah, that part gets tricky. So I think that's just
Mhm,
as hard for gay couples as it is for unmarried straight couples,
mhm.
you know?
Number 3, Social Security and pension benefits. Married couples have access to their spouse's Social Security benefits, pension plans, and retirement accounts. This includes survivor benefits if one spouse passes away.
Yeah. That one, I think, especially in divorce, people need to tap into. If you've been married for 10 years, you got to make sure that you know that you can tap into your exes once they die, Social Security. So,
Mhm.
benefits. But,
And then it says like estate planning benefits. Inheritance laws favor spouses. A spouse is typically the primary beneficiary in the absence of a will and can inherit a significant portion of the estate tax free.
yeah.
There's
So this is all
legal.
money, 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 money
Yeah.
so far.
It's all right, exactly. Number 5 is legal decision-making benefits. Spouses have the right to make decisions on behalf of their partner in cases of medical emergencies and end-of-life situations.
See, you can go get power of attorney and that can do the same thing, which is what we have, so like we don't have to be married to still have power. You can give somebody power of attorney over you, power of
Right,
health, power of
right.
money.
And like healthcare proxy, right? That's
Yeah,
what that's
right.
called.
Yeah.
Family benefits. Spouses have legal rights related to children, including custody and visitation rights, and in some cases, adoption.
Yeah, I mean, Jared has just as many rights to the children's that I do. He's on the birth certificate just like I am. So, yeah, I mean, and it's, with doing this for a living, being a divorce coach and mediator and divorcing people and stuff like that, like we've always talked, what will it look like if we split? And I'm always
Yeah.
like, I will pay child support because I'm the earner and I will be the weekend Disney parent. I will swoop in I will take those kids, I will show them a good time, and I will
And
drop
send
them back off
home.
on Sunday night. Like,
Yeah.
I am all for being the Disney parent, and, I wouldn't mind seeing them 1 or 2 nights a week and feed them
Yeah.
dinner, and then you can do bath and bedtime and all.
Right.
We've joked about that, but I'm serious. Like, I already know I'm gonna be paying child support, so it's like, I'm good, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so weird because knowing Jared, if we were to ever split having 2 children, I just can't see him ever going for the jugular, I would have to crush this man. And even still, I don't even think it's not his personality to
Right.
be vindictive and high conflict. He never has been. He doesn't have it in him. It's not how he was raised. It's not how he is. Like, he would always put his feelings to the side, like, let's just do it for the kids. I already know that we would be a glory story if we ever split up.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Then it says immigration benefits. So marriage to a U.S. citizen can make it easier for a non-citizen spouse to obtain a green card or other immigration benefits.
Just had a lady do this yesterday. She just
did.
Oh my gosh, called me and she was like, we had a consult and she married a man from India, got him his citizenship. I think I had 2 people that did that yesterday. And now she had a kid with him. And now she is petrified that he's a flight risk. His whole family is in India.
Oh, okay.
And so she's petrified
that he's just going to take off with,
because he's talked about it. He's talked about, hey, just let me take her and I'll raise her there. And she's like, no.
Right.
So yeah, she's definitely like, yeah, he's their dad. So.
And then the last one says property benefits. There are protections against one spouse being left homeless or significantly disadvantaged in property disputes. And in many states, property acquired during the marriage is considered jointly owned.
Yeah. In some states, like I know, I don't want to say because I don't want to be specific, but in one of the states in the very middle of the United States, if someone lives with you for 6 months, not even married, 6 months, that person can have rights to that house.
Oh.
It's like, what?
Wow.
So every state
like all my ex-boyfriends.
Every state is different on that kind of rule. Like, does your name have to be on the deed, and all that kind of things. But in some states, if you just live with a person, you get to own half the equity, when that happens. So
that's interesting.
To me, I didn't hear anything that was overwhelming. Like I should run to the courthouse today.
No, not necessarily. No, but I think that, it depends, right? It's kind of like a case by case thing. And, but I thought that's the thing is, does the government have a right to tell you your reason for divorce isn't good enough? Like if you're out of love, if you can get married because you're in love, why can't you get divorced if you're not in love anymore? Well, and that no fault divorce, that's literally saved lives. I mean, there are studies that show that women that actually once that passed, I don't remember what year that was that law passed. I think it started in California and then kind of spread. But when no fault divorce was passed, suicide rates went down because women were able to free themselves from relationships that were toxic and dangerous.
Yeah. But my question is, let's go back to marriage. If Jared and I have a ceremony, but we don't sign a license, aren't we married? Like, I just don't see, and just fast forward, if you're filling out forms, all you do is check a box.
Yeah.
Married. There's never like, pull out your marriage certificate. Like even on taxes, when are we checking to make sure someone is legally married in the system?
Yeah. I think for like name changes on bank accounts and like driver's license and passports and things like that, that's when I've had to submit like a marriage certificate.
But exactly. But if you don't change your name, like to me, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Where's the checks and balances? Or has fear created us to think that they are doing checks and balances when they're really not doing checks and balances? So for me, for whenever you change your name, but what if you don't change your name? You don't need to have your marriage. I don't know. I feel like sometimes they make us believe we have to do all those things when really you don't, and I use the school and vaccinations as the example too. They say that and they say that and they say that. And there's plenty of kids going to school every day that are not vaccinated or not fully vaccinated, that have religious exemptions or medical exemptions, but they say, you have to, the only way you can go to school is it. And it's just like, that's not true. So like, is that the same thing for marriage? And we have found, not being married, that there's ways around all of it. Oh, you're not married? Well, all you gotta do is fill out this form. Oh, you're not married? Well, you can do this. Oh, you're not married. And it's like, we're still kind of getting a lot of the same things that married people do. I don't know. So that part intrigues me. But to go back to, does marriage need to be about love? I don't think that's true either. I think there's a lot of people, and I think women are starting to be not fake lesbians, but two single moms that want to live together, but also take the benefit of the taxes and everything, that are becoming domestic partners in the state that allows it, and getting married and doing those things to reap the financial benefit and to be in charge of each other's medical decisions and all the things that you listed today. So I think people are getting married also that it would financially help them.
Right.
To get married.
I think like, you can read through the article too and get more information on this. But I mean, back in the day, marriage was really just for property, right? It was like, if you were a dude, a farmer who needed a tractor, you'd throw an ad in the paper that was like, looking for woman with tractor to marry. Like it was like property. And then also because women had no rights, right? We couldn't buy our own land.
Oh, girl, I'm reading the Bible right now. And these women had no rights. I mean, no rights. And so I'm reading that right now. And it's the same thing. It was all about, you're marrying it. You have to marry from this family and do this. And so that your herd can be with that herd. And it was just like,
right.
What?
And so it's like, yeah, you really, that's the question, is like, what is it for? Like, what is marriage for? Why do it? For me, I didn't feel the need to get married again after my second divorce, but my current husband was never married. That was something that was important to him. He wanted to get married. And so for me, I was more like indifferent about it. I was like, I could, or I couldn't. It really doesn't matter to me. I love you. I want to be with you. But what is it for? Yeah. Like why do we do it? What is the purpose? Are there really that many legal benefits that the government is giving you if you get married? And is that enough to incentivize people to do it when they really don't feel the need to, or really?
Right. Well, I think religious people, it's the, doing it under God and having his, say in it, and you're committing yourself in front of him. I think there's a whole religious aspect as well. That's not something that, I don't think either one of Jared and I need to stand in a church to get married.
But that even people like that then who are getting divorced, do you feel like unless your spouse is beating you or cheating on you, then you have no valid reason to leave that marriage?
Right. For me, I mean, when I was married, we had one of my ex-husband's friends come to us that my ex-husband stood up in his wedding, and he wanted, because he was marrying a Catholic girl, he had to ask my husband to write a letter saying that he knew that marriage was a failure, and like, what's that called? An annulment. Like he needed permission to marry this Catholic girl that his first marriage was bullshit.
Oh,
and so he had asked my ex-husband to write something up saying that, the marriage was a failure. It wasn't anything. And it was just
which is just
check the box, I guess. Check the box.
Exactly.
Got somebody to write.
I could find some rando on the street, pay him $10 to write a quick annulment letter that I can hand to this priest so that I can marry this Catholic chick.
To me, I'm totally just, I'm not for conforming as much anymore on anything. And this is just one. Now, I know Jared and I want to get married and prove, show our boys that we're committed to each other, but I think they know that already.
Right.
But now it's just the point we want to wait till the boys are older and they can remember it, because I don't know if they can remember it at 5 and 4. So, and I know my bigs want to see us get married and the love story and all that, but
I think that's part of it too. Like, let's be real for a second. How many billions of dollars does that wedding industry make every year, right? The movies, the stories that were told growing up, all of these things, it's almost like it's become this thing that people grow up seeing as this goal that you dream of accomplishing one day.
Dude, my marriage cost me $50.50. Our marriage certificate cost us $40. We were so nervous that we eloped that we went out to dinner and shared a chicken sandwich and a water, and it cost us $10.50.
Nice.
And so we started a 50-50 marriage that cost me over $100,000 to divorce his ass. And I don't even know how much he spent. I mean, Nope.
Right.
I
Right.
think
It's a racket.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they should go back to tests. I think they should go back to blood tests. I think they should tell us what our astrological things are. And I just did my human, what's it called? Your human
Design.
yes,
Or-
my human design last night. And I'm a generator and
Oh, me too.
I make decisions from the sacral. And like knowing that, I want to know who the fuck I'm marrying. What are you? You know, what
Yes.
like do we
Right.
match up?
All
And
the things.
what season are we fighting in? I think they should go back to blood tests, and I think they should go back to tests and astrological shit and
Yeah.
teach us all, and then say, "Are you sure you're going to be able to, handle her fiery personality? Are you sure?"
Right.
But
Right.
I don't know. I think the blood test needs to come back. Only, and here's maybe this is not even the subject we need to be talking about, but I just can't help get this out of my brain. With all the people donating sperm and eggs these days, how the fuck do you not know that you're not related to the person that you're marrying?
Mm.
With all the kids that are being, sperm donation, egg donation, all adoptions, giving up children and all that, which I'm completely fine with. But how do you know you're not? Have you heard those stories where like two people fell in love and they ended up being brother and sister?
Oh my God, no.
I must be on the fucked up side of TikTok.
Dang,
Yeah.
I never really thought about that.
There's tons of stories. See,
Did they
Jennifer's in
used
here
to
with
do-
me.
Did they used to do
The
blood
sperm
tests?
donors, man, they are doing yes, yes.
And they don't anymore. I wonder
No.
why.
Yeah, I don't even know what really the blood test. Make sure you just didn't have the
Like the
herp. I don't
same
even know what it was
DNA?
for, but yeah, collect DNA probably.
Wow.
But yeah, they got
Oh my
away from all
God.
that, and there's no like companionship tests or like, hey, are you a morning person? Hey, do you enjoy laundry? Hey, like,
Right. Right. And so, well, part of that is also, and I did, I actually put a TikTok out today about something like that, and it's already blown up, but about how when you get married young, it's really, you're just doing yourself a disservice, because usually when you're young, you don't know shit, and you especially don't know who you are. So if you really don't know who you are or what you need or what you like or what your love language is or what's important to you, or how the fuck are you supposed to pick this person that's supposed to last a lifetime?
because Leah, we dated in high school and we've been sweethearts.
And
We
we
met
fell
in
in love.
college and we dated.
Bullshit, it doesn't work. You have to be aligned on so many levels and really have that mutual respect, that
Yeah.
open communication. Like there's
Yeah.
so many ingredients that go into a healthy, long-term, successful relationship. There are things that you're not looking for when you're 20. I'm sorry, you're just not.
God,
like
no.
you don't
No.
know, you don't know. My God, I swear, until I was honestly in my 30s, did I not really even start to really understand who I was and what I wanted, and be okay with it. Be okay with just showing up as myself, like unapologetically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that there's also something to be said about waiting a little bit later in life. And I
Yeah.
know that there's the thing with kids. I mean, women, they say as you get older, your chances of healthier pregnancies decrease and yada, yada. But it's been done many, many times. And I think that it's possible. And I don't think that that fear should be the reason that you're hurrying up and getting married when you're really not ready on a lot of other levels.
Well, I think, having kids in my 20s and my 40s, I can say the kids that I had in my 20s, yes, I had more energy, blah, blah, blah. My body bounced back, yada, yada. Didn't happen in my 40s and I'm exhausted all the fucking time. But my perspective on how I want to parent is completely different now that I've lived life. I've fucked it up a few times. I've learned, I've loved, I've failed. I'm parenting these other two kids. Like my son walked down this morning. Augie walked down. He knows I'm working out. He comes down and he's starting to tell me a story about how, dad yelled at me because I threw a toy, blah, blah, blah. And he starts to get emotional. Like, cause he's upset because he got yelled at.
Yeah.
What if I would have told my other two kids, back in the day, in my 20s, I'd be like, knock it off, grow up, stop crying, blah, blah. But I'm like, hey, kiddo, like if you're upset, let it out. Like, absolutely. Let's just talk through it, And I said, but make sure you're breathing, I'm like, oh, you need to blow your nose. And I mean, just the way I handled it was like night and day difference. And in the back of my mind, I can hear my bigs going, you would have beat our ass for crying like that for over something stupid, like, it's the perspective is so much different.
It's the wisdom you get as you age. It is just learning and healing. You've healed your own traumas and your own childhood wounds and your inner child and all that bullshit that comes to the plate when you're parenting.
Yeah. Did you see what old James over here? The test used to be used for STD checks. That makes sense. And I don't know why those would have stopped. I mean, I know AIDS and HIV and all that were a little bit more prevalent, but to me, I want to know before I get married that that's happening and that's occurring, before I say yes to all that, which I would think most
Right.
people
Well,
would.
hopefully you're honest if you're if you're gonna marry somebody. But I mean, being cousins or siblings, I think is worse, honestly, than an STD, in my opinion.
Right. Right. But there's always a James in every crowd. There always is. For those of you that missed it.
Them. Blackety black.
Yeah. Some people it's amazing when you're on social media like you and I are, people that are hurt try to hurt us.
Yes.
And
hurt people.
Hurt people. It couldn't be more true than just go to our comment section of any of our TikToks and you will see the one person or the 10 that are really, really hurting and just lash out. Now I mentioned at the beginning of this, you're going to see a little bit of a change, especially in my TikToks. I'm going to start catering to just moms. And I know that's going to maybe push some people away. And I think I'm okay with that at this point. My target audience, mathematically, if I look at my statistics, is moms. And so I'm going to really start streamlining my things to moms. And I wasn't going to tell everybody specifically that's what I was doing. But after that comment, I want people to know it's very obvious to us who are healed from all of our traumas and our marriages failing and things like that. And when we see your comments where you just viciously attack us for whatever reason on that you think it's really because you're hurting and we're here to help. I mean, we got go look it up. 90% of our TikToks are there to help you get better or wherever you're following us from. But so I think I'm just going to start really voicing what I've been wanting to voice, which is moms are the ones that are my clients. So that's what we're going to do. I'm super excited about it. Super excited about it. So you guys are going to sit back and watch things kind of evolve over the month of April for us. We're going to streamline some things, but we recently just upped the price to the next chapter. And I can't tell you, it's really upped over there. Like everybody's engaging. There's accountability posts in the morning. There's daily talking points. There's trainings on Mondays and Thursdays. We're getting ready to go in there in the next 30 minutes and answer all the questions. And how many questions did you say were posted on Wednesday?
30 comments on that post. Yeah. So that's what's cool is you can ask us anything and we go in there and we go live and we answer your questions. So you get access to us. We just had a guest host come in, Mindy, who's a stepmom coach. It was awesome. Who gave us such a great perspective from the stepmom's point of view to help you learn how to like find acceptance, maybe touch a little bit on empathy, even though that's really hard, and to just find out how you can like navigate that relationship if your ex does have a new partner or girlfriend or live-in or wife or whatever. Yeah. So that was awesome. We loved that. And so that replay is still in there. All the replays stay for like 30 days. And we're going to be doing a really good one on Monday too. It's how to help communicate to your attorney that your ex is in fact high conflict, because a lot of people get that pushback from their attorney when they're kind of telling them, listen, this is high conflict. But they're like, you're being dramatic or, and they don't believe you.
Everybody's high conflict nowadays. Sam. You're no different than the glass person that was here. And it's like, but this is my life.
Right.
This is my life.
So we're going to teach you how to actually communicate that to your attorney so that they believe you when you tell them that you're dealing with somebody high conflict. So that's coming up. There's just so much. I love it. That's like my favorite thing that we have is the next chapter. Yeah, because then they get to really like just engage with us, plus get trainings, plus it's such a smaller group. Our support groups are really, really large. Right. And the smaller group, you get to see same faces, same names, and really you connect with people. Right. Yeah, you connect and you have your own group, could potentially have your own team of support, if you start bonding really with a lot of common interest people. So you guys, this subject is near and dear to my heart. What is the benefit of getting married? I didn't hear one today. Unless my tax lady shows me a dramatic change in numbers, you might see me married in 2024. And we'll know why. Yeah, well, exactly. But I think also, to be personal, like I was 225 pounds. I was not getting married at 225 pounds, and now I'm down to 185. I want to get down to 170. And once I'm at 170, I think that's my good. I can stay thick at 170. I got still like some thickness about me. I really didn't want to get married at 225. And that's what I weighed for the last 4 years.
So now that I'm feeling a lot better about my body and more confidence, like now I'm willing to like, you know, whether it's legal or not, I'm willing to now be, you know, in a wedding and have pictures taken. So I'm to that point now. So
Yeah.
that's
About
been kind of
feeling good
motivating.
about yourself.
Yeah, I feel good about myself. And now I don't mind seeing pictures of myself now because now I see like, wow, that's a dramatic change from 225 to 185.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
that's the other thing, you know, you just got to be ready. So you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Share this with somebody that you think may be on the fence or somebody that just got divorced. It's like, hell yeah, there really wasn't a benefit of that marriage. Absolutely. Otherwise, guys, we will see you at the next time.